Yesterday evening, correspondent Mike Taibbi introduced you to the shadowy personalities of Missing Foundation. That's what they're called. This evening, Taibbi explores the group's alleged involvement in the Tompkins Square confrontation this past summer.
Beyond the accepted fact that a lot of cops acted badly on the night of August 7th, some in violation of departmental rules, investigators after the fact began probing the other side of this unseemly mess. Was the Tompkins Square Park riot planned, or at least instigated? And if so, by whom? Certainly there were hints that trouble was expected. Hours before it started, a radio station invited its listeners to come to the riot. And listen to the suggestion made to this amateur videographer, who was apparently shooting too much, too soon.
Are you shooting right now? Yeah. You should save it for the riot.
I was actually going behind the cops and telling them, hey, you know, I see y'all talking about, you know, your own personal stuff, but what about somebody crazy like me that would come behind you that just totally hates cops and would just like nothing more than just take off all your heads while you was looking the other direction?
Park denizen Daniel Rockwitz admits his plan was to distract the cops, and that soon enough the bottles and M80s started flying. And Aaron Kays, a 60s era agitator, took a moment away from a marijuana smoke-in a few weeks ago to concede there were those who planned to take action. He wouldn't name them, but he said they did come to the park loaded for bear.
There were angry folks who shall remain unnamed that did toss bottles and M80s in anger.
In the days after the riot, investigators and other observers noted that many of the self-styled neighborhood spokesmen adorned themselves with a uniform set of symbols and anti-cop, anti-landlord, anti-yuppie slogans. The feds were involved by then, and what they saw led them to begin raising questions about the group called Missing Foundation, the authors of those same symbols and slogans, and supposedly just a rock group. Those first official questions about Missing Foundation led investigators to this basement apartment at Bowery and 6th.
We rented this place in about January. It was supposed to be, one guy was supposed to be contractor, the other guy was supposed to be artist.
The scene of destruction left behind by the apartment's occupants, David Kelly and Peter Colangelo, was extraordinary, disturbing, and in its unanswered questions, plain shocking. At first glance, it seemed to be the home base for whatever Missing Foundation was. There were the large format negatives with the symbols plastered all over town. There were the slogans, "Your house is mine," "Landlords are the scum of the earth and therefore must die." And then there were the other hints amid the rubble that something beyond mere political sloganeering had been going on in this windowless place. One wall spoke of hate, hate. Another of no pigs, dead pigs, slashed over the MF poster. Helter Skelter, the Charles Manson battle cry, was splashed across another wall. A gruesome photograph of a man impaled on a bed of nails sat astride a life-size replica of the same bed of nails. The odd bone or vial of liquid was there. Pamphlets from satanic cults, a candelabra with the black and lavender candles used in the satanic black mass, and a few items building owner Yuri Blanarovich still can't believe he found.
I found some skins. It looked like sort of whitish cat, or I don't know, couldn't tell what because there wasn't, you know, anything you could identify by. And there was also a glass jar with something which looks sort of like a guts to me.
Guts, blood, in it,
yeah. And then after they demolished the place, I found that cat, which was still breathing, was very skinny, and was laying right on the front of the door.
Yeah.
And it had one side of his belly shaved.
And two highly placed police sources told us that something else was found amid the rubble of the basement flat occupied by Peter Colangelo and David Kelly, several undeveloped rolls of film. When the film was later developed, the police and then the FBI were surprised to find they were photographs taken months before the Tompkins Square Park riot. Photographs of individual cops, their color insignia, in some cases their families as well. Some of the cops were from the 9th Precinct. We didn't know it at the time, but the David and Peter from the basement apartment at Bowery and East 6th were David Kelly, who smashes the metal, and Peter Colangelo, who wails the lyrics. David and Peter from the combat rock group Missing Foundation. Yuri Blanarovich confirmed it. Those were the tenants who smashed his basement before disappearing, owing 3 months' rent. And one of Yuri's employees confirmed that he'd told the FBI that he saw Peter and his friends doing their act for Missing Foundation, but on the streets, when the riot was about to start on August 7th.
They were coming like from the First Avenue, and they were throwing the garbage cans, beer bottles on the street, onto coming cars, and
I później na Second Avenue podpalili ten...
and they set the fire to the garbage on a corner of First Avenue. It's about 8th ulica?
8th ulica.
8th Street.
The FBI's Joint Terrorist Task Force spent 3 months looking into all of the evidence, including the photographs found in that basement apartment on East 6th Street. But the feds found no interstate link. And so now the entire investigation has fallen back to the New York Police Department. One highly placed police source told us that investigation won't go anywhere. Mike Taibbi, Channel 2 News.
Even if the official investigations into Missing Foundation are expected to go nowhere, the group's presence and influence on the Lower East Side are not over. Taibbi will explore them tomorrow evening on Channel 2 News at 6 and 11.